Good morning, everybody. I see we have three viewers with us right now.
Hey guys, all done? You're done.
Morning.
Guys got enough water?
Water.
All right. Have fun. Stay not throwing up heels on the on the ground. Be like a cartoon slipping on it.
Okay, I'm going to flip it around here. Good morning, everyone. Can you see me okay? Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Chuck Emmert. I'm with the City of Phoenix Communications Office, and we're live on Facebook this morning at Echo Canyon Trailhead here at Camelback Mountain. I'm going to show you a little bit of the habitat here and then talk to some of the rangers here at the park about hiking in this heat and about the beautiful area here in Echo Canyon. So let's flip around here and take a look at the park. You can see the trail here. This is the main trailhead down here that goes up to the mountain. Here's some of our signage about some of the hiking safety programs.
Hey guys. Have a good one.
And
Stay safe.
there's a couple of our rangers. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey,
Say
how
hello
are
to
ya?
everybody.
Morning, morning.
And this is Lynn on the right. Lynn, introduce yourself, please.
I'm Lynn Swan, Park Ranger for the City of Phoenix.
Great. And Keith, please.
Yep, Sean Peters, Park Ranger
Great.
for Phoenix.
Thanks, Sean. Well, I'm going to flip the camera around here and talk a little bit today. Can everybody see me okay? Oh, we've got a beautiful sunrise coming over the edge of the mountain back there right now. So,
beautiful.
yes, it is. So, Lynn, tell me a little bit about the trailhead here and the elevation change and that sort of thing about this trailhead.
All right. Well, this is one of the more popular trails in the Phoenix area. The summit is just over 2,700 feet, 2,704 to be exact. The trail is just 1.2, and a lot of folks say, oh, it's just a mile. But this is a hard, grueling mile hike. Your elevation gain is just over 1,200. Most of the trails in the Phoenix area are around 1,000 to 1,200 elevation gain.
So it's steep.
It's steep. You're climbing uphill. This is one of our more difficult trails. There's an uneven surface. There's a lot of rocks, a lot of loose rocks. This involves a little bit of climbing. And yes, this is a difficult, hard trail, but if you do it properly, it's a lot of fun.
Well, it looks like it's a popular trail, too. We've been standing out here for half an hour, and maybe 100 people have gone by.
It's very popular. On the weekends, we're already full in the parking lot this time of the morning, and here it is a Tuesday morning, and we've got the parking lot almost full. It's very popular. Plus, you want to hike earlier in the day. This is the time to do it.
Now, I think it goes without saying that on a trail of this difficulty and on a day like today or any day here in the summertime, an individual needs to take special precautions in order to have success on this trail.
Oh, definitely. We're promoting Take a Hike, Do It Right, which is up on our sign here.
Let's take a look over here at that.
One of the
I'm going to flip
biggest-
the camera around.
One of the
so we can
biggest
see
things
that.
is watch the weather. It's a dry heat. Humidity's running less than 5% this week, and as everybody knows, the temperatures are running over 110. We're in a heat advisory. So dressing appropriately, make sure you have that sunscreen, your hat. Wear shorts. If you're going to wear something with long sleeves and long pants, keep it lightweight, keep it lighter in color. And then water. We are telling folks water is one of the most important things right now. When you are halfway gone with your water, turn around. Even if you haven't made the summit, you need water to make it back down. You may start when it's 85 like it is right now this morning. If you're up there for 2 hours, you could be getting close to 100, or in this case 110 today. If you're in a group, you split up. Make sure everybody has some water with them. One of the things with our rescues is folks are up there, they split up. Somebody doesn't have water, and they end up getting very thirsty and dehydrated on the way down.
Well, that goes without saying in terms of what you mentioned about staying together on the trail like that. I mean, this is something where a buddy system works out well unless you really
does.
know this trail, right?
Exactly. It is, one way up and one way back down again. Everybody has a different hiking ability. So yes, they will sometimes split up, and that's where water is most important.
Now, what are we seeing over here, this part of the trail that goes up where we're in the shadow right now, but it looks like the sun is just about ready to peek over that little bit of the canyon there.
Right, yeah. We tell people to go up to that saddle there if they've never hiked here before or if it's extremely hot. The one thing that makes this trail nicer in the daytime, in the morning like this, is it is in the shade when you start. In another hour, it's going to be in the full sun, and then you really feel the effects of the heat. Obviously, the other side of the mountain that you're hiking on, once you get past that saddle, is in the sun. It's going to warm up quick.
Now, you mentioned, and obviously we're in the shade here. Let's take a look at the temperature, though.
Yeah, it looks like that according to this, we're going close to 90 degrees already.
In the shade.
In the shade, yes. Yes, exactly.
Now, Lynn, you mentioned you've been out here. I'm going to flip the camera around one other time here. You mentioned that, there we are,
Yeah.
that you've been out here for several years, patrolling this trail and helping out hikers. And you've developed kind of a kit that works out really well on these warm days like this.
Oh, yeah,
Let's take a look at what you
definitely.
have.
If you're going to have just the one bottle of water, you want to try to freeze it ahead of time. And if somebody shows up at the trail with one bottle of water, we usually suggest only going to the summit, especially later in the day when the sun is out and it's over 100 degrees, when it's 105, 110. This isn't enough to get you up and down safely unless you've hiked here so much and you're really acclimated to the weather. One nice thing, a lot of folks have their camelbacks. Freeze the water. This not only helps keep you cool on your back, but you'll have water that's cool all the way through your hike. And believe it or not, this will be melted by the time you get down from your hike, but it's still cool rather than the hot water that it does heat up to.
That takes a little planning the night ahead, but it's a great idea.
Exactly. And a lot of the folks that hike with us, they tell us that they've had their water they drank the night before. They drank a lot of water before they went out hiking, and then they either have those bottles frozen, one in each hand. It's a great way to carry them. Balances you out if you want to look at it that way. One in each hand. We're telling our regulars, bring water anyway, that if you don't drink it all the way up, if you don't even drink and open your bottle on the way up and coming down again, hand it off to somebody that looks like they're struggling. We have a great informal system that's developed here. The hikers look out for each other. We have hikers who literally bring extra water just in case they run across somebody who's running low on water. And they hand out the water constantly up and down the trail. The rangers go up there with water, and we hand out the water to keep people safe as well. And
So
then,
that's that buddy system again at work there. People are looking out for each other.
well, these are
on this
strangers,
trail.
though. I mean, that's a true buddy system. These
It
are
is.
people who say, you look like you're struggling. You need a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do that just here. We have people out at Dreamy. I actually heard one of their local radio announcers on the radio the other day saying how he goes out and he was giving water out to people as well. So it's a nice message. Help out other people.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody struggling, help them out. It makes for a better hike for everybody.
Now, Lynn, you see some of the pros that are out here every day, but you also probably have encounters with individuals that may be here in town on vacation, or they may have lived here for a while and just thought, I've never been out there, I want to check it out.
Oh, yes.
When you see, when you hear that, when you hear of someone that is just starting out first time or second time coming out here, what do you tell them is a primary condition for footwear and things of that nature?
Well, a lot of folks will do this trail in like a tennis shoe, and then there's a lot of folks who have a hiking boot as well. There are some people that wear those hiking sandals. If you're used to them, fine, but you're going to possibly stub your toes. It happens. But a lot of folks, even a tennis shoe will get you up this trail rather safely, as long as you're watching your steps. You will trip on something on occasion, but that's more not paying attention because you're looking around at how pretty it is.
Perfect. Well, I hear some hikers behind us. Let's just look around at the habitat here and take a couple pictures of this beautiful area. I'm going to flip the camera around here.
Yeah, by the way, what happened to our, I think you're going to put it back up? What? There's,
Right
we
there.
got this one and then we got that one.
Okay, well, these one up there.
Yeah.
We're working
well,
on
it's
that.
Now
coming
I
back.
got to remember to look over there.
And here, this is even better. Can't miss it.
Oh, well, hell, it's too hot for me to hike. I'm going to get out of here then.
Yep, that's smart.
He'll never do that. Well, we ain't.
See you later.
All right, bananas. Yeah, they are. Ooh. I'll take that one. I didn't mean to. All right, you're okay. Oh, that's right.
Well, that one said 100. Hello. Nice. Have a good one.
Okay, let's come back around here to the live picture on camera here. And wanted to introduce to you now to another ranger here at the park. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice.
Hey,
Good morning,
how's it going?
Sean.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on with us today like
Thank
that.
you,
So
yeah,
let's make
my
sure
pleasure.
we can get ourselves in the shot here.
All right.
I'm going to flip that over there. There we are. Great. Well, Sean, you were telling me a little bit earlier that you have noticed in this habitat some wildlife that is native to this area. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, lots of native reptiles, birds, mammals, insects. They're all here. Great place for them to live in the hubbub of the city. They got this sanctuary of cliffs, caves, trees, cactus. So lots of variety out here.
What kind of wildlife are you seeing specifically?
Probably the most unique right now is we have a couple pairs of peregrine falcons that are nesting up here along with some prairie falcons. So we monitor those on a weekly basis. And that's pretty neat. Peregrine falcon's one of the fastest birds in the world, and they nest among the cliffs out here. So you can come out and watch them.
So for someone that's never seen a peregrine falcon, kind of describe how big that bird is and some of its habits.
Out here, it's kind of hard to tell if you see them perched. It's almost like a raven size, very sleek looking, long wings. It's a falcon, so super fast flyer. They love chasing the birds and eating the birds.
And they've got a good habitat here in terms of, if we look up the mountain here, there's a lot of areas up there that
Lots
offer
of cliffs.
good protected nesting areas,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Well, great. Let's, I tell you what, let's take a little hike down the trail here.
Let's do it.
And go down a bit. I'm going to flip the camera around here.
All right.
Let's you and I just walk down this way a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to watch to make sure we don't lose our Facebook Live signal here. But this trail now, kind of describe the surface of the trail here. It's not a paved trail. It's got a different type of surface as you get hit different parts of the mountain, but just kind of describe what we're on here.
Yeah, this part of the trail was redone a few years ago, so it's a little bit more have a maintained feeling. And then after about a quarter mile up, it gets more rugged, where high steps and more of the natural boulders. Just a whole different feel. This part would be relatively easy, the easiest part of the mountain.
And we're coming up here what looks like to be an old wash.
Yep, it's a wash, all right, and it flows every time it rains. And when it really rains, you actually can get stuck on either side until the water recedes. It drains quite a bit of the mountain in this area.
So for somebody that's watching this that may not be from Phoenix, have never seen a wash before, kind of describe what this is.
It's a wash. So slope sides, sandy bottom, and washes are very important because they're kind of wildlife corridors. Think of a highway through the mountain.
And they're basically a drainage ditch.
Exactly, yeah. All the water that hits upslope on the mountain has to come down, and it comes down these washes and arroyos and ditches.
All right, well, we'll take a little
And they
walk across
empty
here.
a lot of water.
So we're at kind of a low point right here on the first part of the hike, and the trail goes up that way. Now,
Yeah.
there's some prominent landmarks in this area here. Kind of describe what we're looking at, for example, some of the peaks up there.
So we're looking at the head of the mountain, and the most obvious feature that the mountain's probably known for is the praying monk up there that's silhouetted. And then below that would be considered the head wall, a popular area for rock climbers. That whole area is very popular for rock climbers. It's Gargoyles Wall, Head Wall, and the praying monk.
Now, people should realize as well that the trail changes. It's not like this the whole way up to the summit.
No, you go up maybe a quarter mile up to the saddle, and then it gets quite a bit steeper. There's some handrails that you use to go up the mountain, some steps that are carved into the stone, and then it's just the natural features. Hello.
How'd it go?
Good.
Good, good.
Made it halfway.
All right, at least you made it down.
Morning.
We'll hike up a little bit higher here and get a little bit different view.
All right.
Now this side of the canyon here, this wall we're looking at over here, what is that?
Oh, just the conglomeration of kind of a mud embedded with some granite. It's we try to keep folks off it. It's pretty unstable. There's some beehives up there, so probably not an area that you want to be wandering around in. We'll leave that to the animals.
We've seen a number of people that have walked by us, run by us today, using the trail. For an experienced hiker out here, what is different about a day like this as opposed to a day in the wintertime when you're hiking?
Well, that would be the temperature. It's gonna there's gonna be a huge fluctuation. It was probably 80 in the morning, and it's gonna go possibly up to 120, and it's gonna feel a lot hotter while you're hiking. The rocks retain all that heat, so it bounces off. And this mountain is fairly in the full sun after 9:30, 10 a.m. in the morning, so it heats up quite a bit.
We've got a beautiful sunrise coming up here. I'm going to
Yeah.
let this runner go by us, and then we'll switch and take a look at that sunrise. Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Morning.
Good. How are you?
A good one.
There are just some epic skies back in this area. I'm sure you've seen some things. You've been at the park for how many years now?
Almost 18.
18 years
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah.
Well,
Lots of changes.
obviously you love your job.
Yeah, I do. It's nice. It's a good job.
As a park ranger, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis?
On days like this where the heat's going to be cranked up quite a bit, we're out here just helping folks as they come off the mountain, or if they decide to go up, just giving them the education and some advice on should they really be hiking after 10 o'clock in the morning, and if they do decide so, taking the necessary precautions for them. Lots of water and just being responsible. Got to be responsible.
I think you hit the nail on the head there about being responsible, because even in this heat, you don't want to necessarily tell people they can't come out or discourage that, but you got to be ready.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not saying you cannot come out and hike, but we're just saying take it upon yourself to know your body, understand the complexity of the mountain with the heat combination, and just be smart.
And in terms of an experienced hiker, so someone that's been out here for many years and feels like they have this down, what kind of mistakes do you see the experienced hiker make just because they're so confident, maybe overconfident?
Probably that's it, being overconfident, thinking that you're not going to be the person that needs assistance or going to run out of water, twist their ankle, or just run into a problem. Do not be overconfident. Nature always wins. Nature will always win.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to flip the camera around here as we walk back and just take a look at nature for a bit. Morning. There's that sunrise.
Beacon coming. It's here.
I'm going to flip the camera around here at the bottom of this wash so our viewers can see. Now our face is lit directly by that sun there, and already the temperature is changing just because we're in the light.
In the direct light. Yes, sir. It's hot.
What would you estimate at the peak time of day the difference is between light in the temperature in the shade as opposed to the temperature right in the sun? I mean, it can be quite a big difference.
It's going to be hot either way. I'm not exactly sure, but if you're in the sun, you definitely know you're going to heat up fast. And even in the shade, it's very difficult to cool down once you get overheated.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a breeze, but you can't always count on that either.
No, Don't count on the breeze. Count on the heat.
Let's go back and look at that sunrise again.